Hey, good morning, everyone. It is the 1st of October. It's Spooktober. It's about 8:54 in the morning. We are about 36 minutes away from the opening bell, and I'm going to be taking a look at Nasdaq. I'm going to be taking a look at the S&P 500. I'm also going to be taking a look at Bitcoin because I know a lot of you are interested in what's going on over there as well. I have not been giving it a whole lot of love because there honestly just been a lot of just boring price action for the last for the last several days, even weeks. So I'm going to take a look at all three of these different assets. um, we're going to try and kind of put in a little education in all of this, but nonetheless, before I get into any of it, of course, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You are responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and this is always just my opinion on the market. So let's go ahead and let me get my chart set up over here and we will get right into it. Okay, here we go. All right, I got a little bit of a new chart layout here. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. But anyway, so what we've done here with Nasdaq, all right, so we've been keeping an eye on this, and actually we're hitting a lot of algo targets, or getting close to them at least, especially within this 30-minute time slot. So within the last 26 minutes, we've gotten very, very close, critically close to that 11,600 level, which we were kind of watching. We've got the resistance that's labeled over here based on this pivot right here. Um, we've got a lot of algos that should be setting themselves to do a kind of enter a distribution phase right up here at 11.6 to 11.625. We can see it pretty clear here. Um, what I want to point out, what I want to focus on, is that we've got some pretty clear corrections. Pretty clear corrections, and these are very, very important for you to recognize. You have to be able to recognize these in order to capitalize off of them. Okay, and what these corrections are that I'm talking about, there's one right here. This is a clear correction, okay? Let's just talk about this just for a moment, because you don't need to know anything about Elliott waves to see this, okay? You see a push down, a push up, and a push down. And on the S&P, which we'll look at in just a moment, it went a little bit deeper, but in essence, we had a 1, a 2, and a 3, an A, B, C. And then what did we have from there? We had a push up, right? This was our base. So you don't take the trade back here because this is just the first move. Corrections always come in three waves. So if you can see these as they come, you're going to be able to capitalize off of them in a big, big way. So we had A, B, C, and then we moved up, and we have moved up in a big, big way since then. This was all the way back here, and where have we gone since the bottom? Even if you caught this wick down here, nobody catches the perfect trade, but nonetheless, the market is up 6.7% from there. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, especially if you're in like a 3x bull asset, something like that. 6.7% quickly becomes almost 20%. But anyway, this ABC, this was clear for me that we are going to be seeing a move up, and we did. Okay, so since it was off of a dominant pivot low here, I figured that we were going to be going up much higher, and we did. We entered basically one A, B, C into the 2, and then we work on the 3. Okay? Now, from the 3, what happened? We had an A, a B, and a C to the 4. So what do? We take our Fibonacci, and we pull from this bottom right here, this dominant pivot here at the end of wave 2, at the bottom of wave C, take it all the way to the top of wave 3, and we expect ourselves to come back to, in a wave 4, we expect ourselves to come back to the 382, and that was at 11,200. Let me just kind of just delete this for just a moment here. Let's just zoom in on this and look at this. We've got 1, ABC into the 2, a big wave up. We have a dominant pivot up here, A, B, and then we come back down here to the 382. You had 1, 2, probably more than 2 opportunities, because this spanned, this was over a course of an hour down here. You had an opportunity to buy at the 382. If you didn't buy down here, you had the opportunity to buy back here. But if I remember correctly, there were a lot of people that were afraid down here. They're like, yeah, we're going to be going much lower. On the flip side, this was a bullish retest based on this cluster that we have over here to the left. So if we take this guy, we can take ourselves all the way to the top, and let's just pull it over. Pull it over. What did we have? We had a bullish retest. So we had one bullish retest here, went deeper to catch this pivot over here. I mean, it was perfect. I mean, look at that. That literally couldn't have been better. And there was high confluence with our fib pull down here to the 382. Now the algo target to the upside to start taking profits is at 11.6. You can see this on our negative 236 extension. So this is an extension based on the fib pull that we took from wave 2 to wave 3. We would expect wave 5 to go, at least to the 236 extension. And we got pretty close. We were within what, $5. We got up to 11,596, and the algo target technically was at 11,603. I still believe we're going to get there. I have no doubt in my mind that we're going to get there. We're probably going to pass it. And the reason why I say that is, let's go ahead and assume that this right here was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is 5 waves here. Obviously, we've gone higher. So I believe this is a 1, 2 in its own. I think we're going to get an extended fifth here. So if that's true, let's just, again, we're going to take fib here. We're going to take from our dominant pivot low to our dominant pivot high, which was from yesterday. And where did we go? We came down to the 50, okay? That's a high probability target. The 50 or the 618, somewhere in this zone, is a high probability target for wave 2, and we hit it. So now, you've got at least 11,613 to look forward to, but let's take our trend-based fib extension tool. And guys, I'm not doing this just for, just for me. I'm doing this so we can try and teach you guys how to fish too. We'll pull this guy back, all right? Same fib pull here, but we're pulling it back. Now we would expect if this is going to be a wave 3 and we have an extension going on here, potentially this could be going up to 12, okay? Likely it's going to go to 11.7, but potentially it could be going up to 12. And going up to 12 would be pretty interesting because we're getting closer to our highs. Now, I would expect there to be some resistance there. Ultimately, I do think we're probably going to make our way up to 12.1 to 12.2, but we should be watching to see what happens up here. We've got really, really great potential to see some significant moves to the upside. And Nasdaq has been stronger than the S&P. So now let's take a look at the S&P. ES1. Let's take a look and see what's going on here. I've got a lot more detail on here. I've already put this on here from yesterday where we were talking, very, very similarly on Nasdaq. I believe we've got the 4 down here, and then we've got a 1 ABC, right? Again, this is an ABC. Clear correction. Clear correction. ABC. I always tell everybody if I'm looking for something in the market, I'm looking for a correction so that I can get, some upside or some downside, because there is such thing as a correction to the upside before you have some, continuation to the downside. But this was clear, and then this again has moved up. We pulled down to wave 4, very similar to what we have on Nasdaq. And let me just zoom in on this guy over here. Again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3, 4, 5. Complete that. Then we go down for wave 2. And again, just like on Nasdaq, okay, let's pull this fib pull from the bottom. I'll fix that to the top right there. Try and get this as close as I can to perfect. And that goes right there. Okay, that came down again to the 50, almost hit the 618. In my opinion, the S&P is weaker than Nasdaq, so naturally I would expect it to cut a little bit deeper than Nasdaq did. And that is exactly what happened. We almost got down here to the 618, but it entered the zone, right? Between the 50 and the 618, you would expect that to be a wave 2 down there. Now our target to the upside is going to be, 34, probably higher than that, because again, if we do see significant rip to the upside, we take this guy down here from this guy up here. I'll fix that. Excuse me. And we'll put that up there. Let's fix this guy right up there. Okay. Now, where are we seeing this guy potentially going to? Right there, 3480 to 3495, right? Let's just call it 3500. very, very easily we can see this guy going up here to 3,500. So this is 1, 2, potentially the 3 could be coming right up here. I can see it. And then 4, come back down here, and then 5. Work our way up higher to complete that move, and then we correct down from there. But very, very possible this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to transpire based on this move. Now, again, the S&P has been moving flatter than Nasdaq has, and what I mean by that is the price moves to the right more than it moves up. But you know, that's okay. That's just the way things go. So all in all, I think this looks pretty constructive for more moves to the upside, especially if we can, you know, break up and hold above, we'll call it 33.85. If we can break up above 33.85, I think we're in good shape. But again, we're starting wave 3, so we could easily have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. We correct back down to potentially 33.50, 33.57, and then we move up and finish wave 3. So it's going to take a little bit of time. I think we get the more significant move to the upside tomorrow, but it would not surprise me one bit if we just kind of move sideways today. Likely today is probably going to be a theta day. We had a really good day yesterday, a sharp sell-off right at the end, followed by a little bit of a pump after the close. And of course, obviously, we're back where we had our highs yesterday. So this is still looking pretty good. It looks pretty strong, at least for the time being. So I'm looking at higher prices on this. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, the one that I've been asked to take a look at here. I'm going on a nice clean chart. I don't have a whole lot here, but let's just take a look at this. I've got a nice simple count. We have our trend line, and let's just kind of zoom out here and see where this is actually coming from so that you can see where I'm getting this from. So I've got, let me just go ahead and fix this because it looks like we're off just a little bit. Let's just go ahead and tag that to the top if we can. There we go. There we go. And get this guy right there. Okay, that's looking good. I mean, we are consolidating up here, and it looks really, really good. Let me pull this in. Okay. So we got a pivot here, a pivot here. I think we can all agree that these are pretty dominant pivots, right? We haven't taken out the highs of either one of those pivots yet. As far as the low goes, you know, we have kind of an extension down here, but we've got also some support here. We've got some clustering above over here, and then we have our capitulation in March down here. Now, where do we go from there? All right, so let me go to maybe a 6-hour time frame and just kind of take a look at this. Let's just take a look at this trend line. All right, so I think that we've completed this move, and maybe this is not a WXY, it could be an ABC, but nonetheless, I think we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is completed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there completes that move. And then from here we have probably an A, B, a C. And then we've got a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and put this in here because right now I don't have this labeled. So let's just go ahead and label this. So from here, A, B, C into the A, B, C into the B, and then A, B, C into the C. All right, let me just go ahead and color this the same as our waves that we've got there. All right, ABC. Now again, I'm not sure if I would call this a WXY, but nonetheless, I think this is our first move completed, second move completed, and we're working on our third move. And we're taking our sweet time getting there too, guys. Taking our sweet time. So let's just take a look at this. From down here, I think we've got a 1, we've got a 2, a 3, a sharp 4, I don't like it, and then our 5 to complete that move. All right, let me get this 1 out of the way, pull this guy down here. Okay, I'm not going to get too much into the subdivision there just because it's, you know, it's really a waste of time at this point on a chart with this high of a time frame. So we've got this 1. Then what do we have? I think we've got a nice clear indication of an ABC here. Okay, you can look at this two different ways. Okay, I'm looking at this with my bull goggles on, but you can definitely see that there can potentially be a bearish count here. So let's just talk about this for a second. All right, I'm going to change this to a lower degree. And I'm going to change the color to green because we're trying to dive in here, because what everybody's trying to figure out is, are we going to be going up? Because I've got my sights up here at 17,000, right up here, January 5th, 2021, somewhere in that range. Maybe it happens a little bit before then, maybe the 19th. I think Christmas is going to be very, very prosperous for Bitcoin. Okay. Couple things have to happen. All right, we talk about this all the time as well. If you are going to be in a trade and you are expecting us to go higher, what are your important pivot points that have to hold in order for your commentary to remain true? Okay, so this right here, critical support. This cannot break. This cannot break. Okay. If this is going to be an A, B, C, because we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the A. Let's just put that on there because this is pretty clear that we've got a little bit of an expanding diagonal here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what happened off of that? We moved up. We moved up. Okay. I'm going to change the degree on this guy up here as well, just so that we kind of keep in line. I'm going to change the color on him as well for contrast purposes. Let's move him to, there we go. Okay, you can see it right here. It's pretty clear. We've got a nice expanding diagonal. And we came off, right off of it. All right, so that's good. And then we've got a nice move up there, a nice A, B, C to get up to the B. And then from there, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's put him on here as well. 1, 2, and I'll fix the degree on this. 3, 4, 5. Right down there to complete that move. All right, so that finishes that move to my estimation. That finishes that move. I need to make that guy green. Okay, so that finishes that move. Then we go up from there, all right, because I think that was a 5, 3, 5 correction that completes this wave 2, which this wave 2 is the completion of the C wave or the Y wave. If this is a WXY, we're working on Y. If it's an ABC, it doesn't matter what we call it, I suppose. We're expecting this to be moving up a little bit higher. So let's just take a look here again and see what our count looks like down here. So we talked about this critical support here. Let's pull this guy, make a duplicate. We have not critical support, but this is important support. We've got important support right there. Both of those levels, we got 98 and we have 10.1. Those are both important levels that we've got to hold. You know, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here, right? If I'm putting on my bear goggles, this looks like 5 waves right here, which has me a little concerned. I do have a little bit of concern with this guy right here because it's 5 waves, okay? So if this is an A, a B, and then we're going down for a C, that would work out okay. But we can't go down past this. This is our important level we have to hold. Like, this is important. I don't want to see it break, but really, if we're looking at a correction here, let's just see where we can go from this. It's okay for us to go to 99, right? 99.31. That's okay for us to get down to. Personally, I'd like to see us hold 10.3. That is where I would love to see us come down to. Very possible for us to go from where we're at right now, give it a lot of time because the price action sucks these days, right? So take ourselves 2 weeks and we're down here at like 10.3. Then we can see ourselves make a move to the upside. But it's just going to take time. And, you know, I know there's a lot of people that are just not patient. They're not patient, but what's probably going to end up happening is we're going to take ourselves, you know, pretty high, right? You know, we're talking about ourselves moving all the way up here, you know, to 16, right? 15.4, 16.9, almost 17,000. Um, we haven't seen prices that high in a long, long time. I can see this happening, but the alternative count would be that we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2, which means we've got a lot further down to go, right? Potentially all the way back down to like 64, 65. I think my bias right now is that we break up, not break down. But I'll trade it as it sits. I flip my bias a couple times a day, and I'm okay with that. Um, so my main count has us going up to 15 to 17K. If I'm wrong, I know when I'm wrong, and that's half the battle. Now, maybe you can get screwed by slippage and things like that. I've gotten messed up with that before, but this is where I think that this idea is wrong. If we break down below 98, I think we are going to be going down to maybe 6 or 7. So just be careful for that. Okay, all right. I think that's it for right now. Yeah, I guess at this point, if you have any questions, pop in the Discord and ask away. And if you want access to the Discord, just throw a comment in the YouTube chat. I'll be more than happy to get an invite code out to you. And of course, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening. Take care, everyone.